friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a bit of a day of plant chores sort of video. I have a few sort of longer things that I want to do and things that I definitely want to be showing you that I'm doing because they are fun and or interesting in my opinion. These are the things that I would like to see other creators do as well, so why not do them? But I have a little bit of a list. It doesn't seem long, but I feel like these things are gonna take a freaking minute for me to do. So, first one, I wanna harvest Anthurium berries. I have Anthurium berries ready to harvest, super excited. I also need to pest treat my Millsbo cabinet for flat mites. Not fun. I found flat mites on them the other day. So I got some sulfur fungicide, so I'm going to be doing that today, and I'm not looking forward to that, but I'll take you along with me on that process, because I'm pretty sure they're in the entire cabinet. I found some on some Hoyas, as well as on my Warwickwianum, and I think that might be why it lost its other leaf. So, joy of joys. And then I want to be sorting out the plants that I got in my recent swap with Sophie. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend you go watch that. I will link it in the clickable eye. We did a mystery plant swap, and she gave me some plants that I want to make into a terrarium. So I have a jar for it, and I want to set that up as well as get the other cuttings sorted and like set up into my collection. So there's that. I also want to say a big thank you to the sponsor of this video, HelloFresh, which I'll be talking about a little bit more towards lunchtime. So yeah, thanks HelloFresh. We'll get onto that later. Before I get into the plant chores, I want to say, if you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you're not new here, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate it. Let's get into it. I'm going to start with the Anthurium berry picking because I am so immensely excited about that. And I know it needs to happen because I'm slowly watching the inflorescence die off, and so it needs to happen now. So let's get started with that. So my crystallinum back here, I think I am dealing with thrips in this area well enough. I haven't seen any here lately, which is awesome. But my crystallinum is doing fantastically. It's got a new leaf and a new inflorescence coming in, but this inflorescence, it is freaking time to harvest these berries. This inflorescence is going to die if I don't take it off soon. And I'm pretty sure I can just kind of like squish these berries off and they'll just come off. Yeah, see, I just took one off right there. Didn't mean to do that. But I want to harvest these and get them like ready to prop, because this is gonna be a crystallinum Frigidea white stripe, which I think will be a gorgeous combination. So let's take this off and we can get started getting these berries prepared. So I've got two methods here that I'm going to be trying. I've got the wet paper towel in a takeaway container, and I've got a lid for this one as well. And I have some damp sphagnum moss, and I actually have one in there already that I picked off the other day that hopefully will sprout, but I figured why not do the rest of them, because I feel like this is literally gonna die. It's so floppy at this point. So I'm just gonna pick them all off. Some of them also kind of feel like they might be dead, so hopefully that's not the case, but they should just come out super easily. They've only been able to come out in the last few days. Like this past weekend, they weren't ready yet. So I'm hoping that this works. It has been like 9 months since I pollinated this in December this past year. So this is not a quick process. It takes ages. But I'm just glad I got it to work. Okay. I think that's the best I'm gonna be able to get off of this one. Like, there are some still down here, but I don't think these are gonna come to anything. Maybe? Yeah, I don't feel like they have seeds inside of them, so that's not gonna happen. But I've got a bunch of seeds here. And basically with these seeds, I just squish them with my finger until the outer bit comes off, that outer bit, and then you're left with a seed like that on my thumb there. And then that can be placed in the moss or on the paper towel. So I'm just gonna carry on doing these. Some of them don't feel like they've like ripened quite enough. Oh. I feel like you might be supposed to rinse them, but I'm just not gonna do that and hope that it's fine. I don't know if that's bad, but that's kind of where I am. Yeah, some of these just don't feel like they have anything in them, which is fine. So this is what I've got on the paper towel. Quite a few. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to like cover them or just leave them on the damp. I'll do a quick bit of research to figure that out. And then these are what I have in the moss. You can see I have quite a few in there. And both of these I'm just going to be putting the lids on. And then I'm actually going to put them in a dark cupboard. I think I am just going to leave them like this for now. It is a very humid space as it is, and just put the lid on. Okay, I've just put them right there, and I will turn off the light and close the door. So the reason I am going to be keeping them in the dark cupboard as opposed to somewhere with light, which seems kind of counterintuitive, is when Claire, aka the Jungle Haven, did her experiment with the Anthurium berries. She did a bunch in a bunch of different types of like substrate. She did some in the wet paper towel, some in moss, some in perlite, some probably I think directly in soil. And she did some in a light space, like a very bright space, and then some in a completely dark space. And the ones that were in her dark cupboard sprouted earlier and grew bigger faster than the ones in like the light. So I feel like it makes sense to try this. I know I could probably do the experiment for myself, but I don't quite have enough berries. I feel like the pollination, it was good. I got quite a few out of it, but not enough to be comfortable experimenting with it, if that makes sense. So I don't wanna risk it. I just want these berries to work, because that would be amazing if I could have some baby crystallinum Frigidia white stripe babies. I think that would be amazing. So that is what I've done. Now, I'm really procrastinating doing the sulfur fungicide. I really don't want to do that because it means taking everything out of my IKEA cabinet and bringing it to the bathroom and spraying all of that. I think I'll probably do that this afternoon. For now, I can sort out those props that I got from Sophie. Okie doke. So I have my things here that I need to sort out. I actually feel like the Burle Marx Fantasy will be fine if I just leave it in this jar. So that's gonna stay. Obviously, the little succulent is already potted up. I probably just need to give it a bit of water. It does feel a little bit soft, so I'll water that in a bit. This orchid thing, the coconut orchid, is the one that I'm most nervous about. I also just realized I didn't get any of the like substrate I need for this, so let me go grab some sphagnum and I'll be back. Okay, I think I'm like actually ready now. Let me shift you down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I really don't know what to put this in, but I think for now I'm going to try sphagnum moss because these little roots feel very dehydrated, so I'd be nervous to put it straight into some soil. So I've got a little cup here and some moss. And I can make a nice little hole in it. And pack this around. So Sophie said I should put this one like straight in my cabinet, but because I'm dealing with flat mites in my cabinet right now, I'm kind of nervous to add anything in there because I don't want to like immediately have it get pests. That would suck. So I'm not entirely sure where I want to be putting this one right away. It's one of those things. Maybe I can treat it as well. Obviously it doesn't have flat mites now, but if I treat it with the rest of the stuff, then I can put it in there and it won't like get them, if that makes sense. I think that makes the most sense of everything. So that should be fine, hopefully. I'm really nervous about the orchid, to be honest. And then here are the things that are terrarium-y. I think. Oh, I really don't know. Because I really want to put the Raphidophora on some bark. But I feel like the ficus is more ready to go onto something and hopefully shingle. So I'm definitely going to be putting this in. Maybe I could put like 1 or 2 of these cuttings because I have several little cuttings here. I could put 1 or 2 of the cuttings in and hope that some of them stay, and then the other couple could stay in this Tupperware and work. Also, she did give me a piece of that Pollyanna repins because I know I have some, but mine isn't as like big and beautiful as this is. Like, look at that. It is stunning. So, I'm nervous now. I have my glass jar and I have some cork bark, which is what I think I need to give something to climb. But I need to cut it because obviously this is like quite a big sheet. So I need to cut it down to size. This isn't a very big jar. Okay, if I cut from there and pray that this works. I got this cork bark originally to put my to mount my staghorn fern on. And I still have another piece that's like literally ready to be mounted. I just not like done it yet, which I'm kind of kicking myself about, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm just nervous. These kind of things make me very nervous. This is harder to cut than I thought it would be. I guess, I mean, it is like bark. Ha! Okay, that works perfectly. Can I get it in? Yes. It frickin' kind of fits. Okay, I might need to cut a bit off if I can get it out now. Okay, that's awesome. I'm glad that worked. There we go. So now that fits in there and it can just be like the back of the terrarium, and there's room to put stuff along the bottom there, which is awesome. Because I think I will need to. Sophie said to start with some rocks. I don't have rocks, so I'm going to be using semi-hydro from Soil Ninja. Just doing a bit of a layer on the bottom. To start. And then she put down some bark, but I don't have bark, so I'm just not gonna do that step. I do have some terrarium moss, which I want to cut down to size in hopes that that helps. I don't know if it will. I've never used terrarium moss not terrarium moss, terrarium cloth mesh. Sorry, my brain is still not quite alive. So I'm just gonna cut a piece of that based off of the size of this thing. Very roughly, apparently. And just going to put that down in there to sort of hopefully get a bit of a barrier between the two. Sorry, that's making noises and annoying me. Create a little bit of a barrier. So my first thought is to use Anthurium and orchid soil from Soil Ninja and just like try to make it not too barky. There we go. Put that in, and then I can scoop some soil in. Just picking out any like sort of big bits of bark, because I don't think it needs that necessarily. And then I can put my cutting in like that. That looks pretty good actually. And give it a good spray with some water. Get it proper wet in there. And then we can just put on the lid. And now it's a sealed little terrarium. I hopefully won't need to water it at all. And it looks so cute. It's a little terrarium tube. It's a tube, as Sophie calls them. So yeah, I think that'll do really, really well. Oh, I was gonna put a bit of the Raphidophora in there. I'm just going to take one of these and put it down in there and hope that it roots. We'll see. I'm not sure it will. It makes me a bit nervous to put that in there, but if it does root, that'll be amazing. So amazing. We have that finished. and hopefully this is going to grow really well. I believe it will. I'm just hoping. And I don't think I'll need to water it because it has the water in there already that I sprayed. I think I can just leave it as an enclosed sort of terrarium thing for a little while, and that should be absolutely fine. I'm hoping. Now that I finished sorting out my swaps, I'm going to have some lunch, which is a perfect time to talk about this video's sponsor, HelloFresh. HelloFresh makes it easy to get back into a routine by eliminating the need to meal plan or go to the supermarket. You don't need to worry about food planning thanks to short cooking times, easy preparation, and amazing discounts. HelloFresh makes me feel organized, healthy, and stress-free, especially in times where I'm really busy hopping around from city to city with another plant swap and taking care of my plants. Adding food and like what I'm gonna eat into that equation, HelloFresh just eliminates all of that stress and makes it so much easier to eat healthy in those situations. Each week there's more than 44 recipes, so over the 2-month period you will have time to try so many different things. I find this is a great way to expand my sort of typical meal routine and really get to try new things, especially as like a pescatarian vegetarian person. There's still quite a lot of options on there for me, and I find so many new recipes this way. After a busy summer of spending on splurging on plants, having something like HelloFresh is great because I know exactly what I'm going to be spending on food that week, so it helps me get my budget a little bit more under control as well. Meals start at just £3.15 per portion, and that's before the amazing discount. If you click the link and use my exclusive discount code below, you can get 60% off your first box and 25% off your next 2 months of boxes, which is a fantastic deal. I highly recommend you go and check them out now. So thank you very much, HelloFresh, for sponsoring this video. And now that I've finished eating my lunch, I can mark off what I have done. Did the berries, did the terrarium. Now I just need to do the cabinet. Really not looking forward to this part, but it so has to be done, and I really want to do it with y'all because if I don't do it with y'all, I probably won't do it. And it makes me very nervous, so let's do it together. This is the stuff that I got. I got it off of Amazon. I'll be sure to link that in the description below as well. And I've personally not used it, but I've seen that other like plant YouTuber people have used it, and it does say it controls listed mites, thrips, and scale. I suppose I could lift this up and find out if it controls the ones I want, but I have heard it does. Also, this could very well get rid of my thrips problem as well, which like wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. This actually doesn't say anything about what ratio to use it on houseplants. I haven't seen anything specifically online, so the only one on here that talks about like spider mite kind of things is under the citrus section, which says that I should use 2 to 3 level tablespoons per gallon of water and apply accordingly. I am going to be using this spray bottle. Ideally, I should get like a pressure sprayer, but I don't have one of those. This is what I have. I normally use this just for plain water or water with horticultural soap in it. So this will have to do for now. Oh, let's take all these plants out and put them in the bathtub. It's also gonna smell bad because it's sulfur. Ugh. Okay, let's do it. We can do it. I'm gonna put some nice music on and it's gonna be fun for all of us. I hope. So I've got everything out. I should probably technically clean this as well. I really should while everything's out, but We'll see how bothered I am after I make the sulfur fungicide. Okay, so I have this and I've got a little thing. I'm really nervous that it's gonna smell bad. I think it's gonna smell like sulfur. Like really rotten eggy. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Maybe I'll feel differently once I've used it and sprayed it on all of my plants, but for now, that's not that bad. I should also say that the bottle's like only full to about there when you buy it. I think that's just how they do their stuff. Don't really know why that is, but it is. And I'm gonna put, ooh, I need to do measurements. I need to calculate this, 1 second. This is 500 mil, which is equal to 10% of a gallon. So if I need 10% of 2.5 tablespoons. How do I do math? I don't know how to do that math. If a teaspoon is about half a tablespoon, 6 in 3, so that's, one of these is 15%. Maybe I put too much, but I've done it now, and this is what it's gonna be. I put 1 heaping teaspoon in, and I hope that's gonna be okay. Doesn't look like tons in there, which is fine. And now I'm just going to fill this with some water. So, add that in. So I'm also pretty sure this is the water soluble stuff. There are some that you can get that aren't water soluble, but that just seemed like a more difficult option. So I went for the water soluble stuff. And like you can see, it's like kind of opaque in there. I guess we should go spray this on my plants. Ah! So I'm just gonna go in and spray everything. Tops and bottoms of leaves, stems, everywhere I possibly can. I definitely know that some of my toys in here, like this one, have them. I've seen them on it. So I'm gonna really douse this one, especially since it's quite hard to get into the little nooks and crannies. But you can see the liquid is quite white, milky looking. This one I know for certain has some damage on it. Let me see if I can show you well. I feel like it's all up around here. That damage, and like maybe a bit in here as well. It just feels like it is quite damaged there. So I know it has the good old flat mites, so. So now I'm just gonna let these all sit and dry off, potentially even overnight. I don't know how long this stuff takes to dry, and hopefully they'll be doing better. I know they're gonna have water spots on them. I mean, sulfur spots, I guess. Like, it's just what happens, but I am glad that it doesn't smell as bad as I thought it would. Like, I definitely thought it was gonna reek of like rotten eggs, but it actually smells quite fine. Like, there's a little bit of eggy smell, but it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So that's not that bad. I probably should have done this outside anyway, but I don't have any outdoor space, and I'm not gonna take all of these plants downstairs because that would just be an absolute pain. So it'll be fine. We will see when these dry, and I will update you then. We're all clean in here now, so whenever the plants are dry, I can just put them back, but I think it'll probably be tomorrow at this point. Good morning. It is the next day at this point. Honestly, I really wanted to get this done all yesterday, but the plants were not dry by the time I went to bed last night, but they are now, so let's go have a look at them. Here is what we are working with, but I think they are dry at this point. Yeah, they're dry. They've just got the like sort of sulfur dust on them. So that should be fine, and I can put them back in the cabinet. I'm not gonna show you that because I'm just gonna like rush through it. So next time you see them, they'll be back in the cabinet. There we go, we are all back in. I am glad that they're back in, but I honestly really don't like the way they look with the water spots, but I think it's just gonna have to be something I live with for a little while until I sorted out this problem, and then I'll never have to deal with it again, hopefully. So that is it. That is me doing some plant chores yesterday, but I'm glad I got them done. They definitely needed doing desperately, so very glad to have done it, and glad that I was able to bring you along with me in it. Before I sign off, I want to remind you again to go check out HelloFresh and use my discount link and code in the description to get your 2-month discount. And a really big thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future. If you've done flat mite treatment, please let me know how it went, because I really hope it works, because I really don't want flat mites in my collection, and I feel like I probably need to do like the entirety of my collection, but that's gonna be a lot of work, so that's gonna be fun. And don't forget to subscribe for more. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!